What is up guys? Today we are going to be doing a video on incels, which is short for involuntarily celibate. It's basically, men who can't get dates and they can't get sex and then they resort to violence. I know it may sound absurd, but let me explain why these type of things happen. The incel has finally made it mainstream after a Toronto van attack that killed 20 people. However, this was not the first incel terrorist attack. It all started with a young man called Elliot Rogers, this man right here. Many years ago, I was warning people about this. Now the incel community on 4chan is advocating for attacks on sexually attractive women and sexually successful men. A literal virgin uprising. However, researching it, I noticed a huge bias in the incel community of, these are just sexually frustrated, angry white men who are losers and can't get dates. They almost make a mockery out of them. However, if you keep branding a movement laughable and something to be ignored with dismissing their complaints about society, history has shown us that that's never been a good idea, and I'm not going to lie, I do sympathise with the incel struggle. Sex is a need. As animals, we compete for sex, we turn violent for sex, and we live in the most sexually repressed societies that only rubs it in our faces with this degeneracy culture and this whole romance society in pop culture that tells them that, they can't be happy without a relationship, and it's not normal if you're not in one. So in order to feel normal, that causes their entitlement. So the whole, Disney and all that, because us men, we watch Disney, we watch fairy tales, we grow up with it too, we want weddings, we want love as well, it's not just a girly thing. So, of course, so in order to feel normal, that causes their entitlement, these people are gonna turn violent. So just like how we had a huge communistic revolution over economic inequality, I mention that as money also in a way marks your sexual market value, and how people did it over race during the civil rights of the 60s. Most of these incels suffer from mental disorders. I'm sorry about the screen, I'll just leave it to that. Mental disorders, anxiety, OCD, PTSD, autism, or physical ones with uncontrollable acne or sweating, or perform poorly economically, having shit jobs, no jobs, living with their parents, or being on benefits, deeming them undateable. And with the rise in feminism, creates a rise in higher expectations of these men. And as biological creatures, I do believe we will see the rise of sexual communism. I'll just stop it there, just to get rid of this. So, where was I? I do think we will see a rise in sexual communism and the overthrow of the Chad Tsars like in Russia during the Soviet Union. I don't think it's going to get that severe, but I do see this becoming more of a social problem. Instead, we need to understand the incel, not dub them as evil. I feel like you're just avoiding debate of why they do what they do by throwing the whole toxic masculinity card. Trust me, I understand why they feel how they feel. Most were nerds, picked in high school. It's hard to go over that trauma. The hatred for sexually successful men is because it was the jocks beating them up, with the attractive cheerleaders encouraging it, and getting a sexual thrill watching some Tyrone flush a Raja's head down the toilet. It all comes from the schools. I made a video on why the schools should be banned. And it's because women who select these guys, it makes the incels hate women, as they see that as the genetic continuation of evil. And even though these people are the victims, the media then tells them they are the oppressor, which really is a slap to the face. I'm honestly surprised there are not more of these attacks, to be honest. I should as so yeah. I'm surprised there's not any more of these attacks, to be honest, but I do see incel terrorism becoming a problem with the rise of feminism. So yeah. And a lot of feminists like to dub what's it called? Incelism, I'm just gonna call it that, Incelism, as coming out of the MRA movement and coming out of MGTOW. It's a totally different movement. It's more of a radical movement of that. So MGTOW are happy to be alone, while incels want to desire women and desire to be in relationship. Well, MGTOW, so they're not the same thing. And MRA, male rights activism, that's more to do with like divorces and property and economy and all that. So try to lump them in together to try and delegitimize either of the sects, I think is just dishonest. And a lot of feminists like to say incelism is a result of the alt-right. Well, not really, because some incels have a lot of Marxist views that women should be shared out equally and proportionately, so that's a very communistic thought. However, then again, it is however, they can be alt-right in a sense that they supported Trump during the election because they didn't want to see a woman win, and they do have some misogynistic views. So, and they themselves also feel like the victim and they're oppressed, and they have a lot of communistic beliefs within them. So trying to say that they can be both within cultural Marxism and in the alt-right. It's not just this feminists are trying to dub it as alt-right, but they have some Marxist leniencies with shading out and distribution, stuff Marxists would like to hear. However, they do like Trump, and they do like strong male figures, and they do like right-wing movements like MGTOW. They sympathise with MGTOW and men's right activism. So that's just my view on incels, involuntary celibate. And just a quick video here. Another one is Elliot Rogers was actually a liberal. If you go into his YouTube channel, he was a huge watcher of TYT, a huge liberal platform on YouTube. So yeah, they can exist on both sides of the spectrum, but like I said, we're both animals. If we don't feel like we have our sexual desires, like lions, we turn violent. There's a bias between females feeling lonely and females needing love and females needing romance, but it's a bias because men need it too. So that's why I had the urge to make this video, because when you type the word incel, it's just all this feminist propaganda, and I just had to speak out against it. So yeah, anyways, see you in my next video. Peace.